So, hand traps. Yes, hand traps. They are a very important part of Yu-Gi-Oh! Right now. And I'm going to go through a lot of them and say if I think they're good right now or not. And we're going to start off with the hand trap that is definitely fallen from its previous height, which is Effect Veiler. Effect Veiler was pretty decent last format. Oh, yeah. When in control stage of thing, it could shut down a lot of decks pretty quickly just by activating it. But now, it kind of does nothing at all. On to the next hand trap. We've got Gamma. Gamma is probably one of the best hand traps, of all time. Not right now, though. It's very powerful, but the thing is, its restrictions make it a bit annoying. For example, you have to play bricks. You have to play one driver, so unless if you play three. Because if you play 3 drivers, you get this as a brick. But if you activate Gamma, and then your driver gets banished, then guess what? Gamma becomes a brick that you can't do anything with. On to the next hand trap. We have Dimension Shifter. A lot of people say this isn't a hand trap. I don't know who you are, but you're dumb. It is. Dimension Shifter is pretty powerful. It's probably one of the most underrated hand traps ever. The main problem is, just like Gamma, it's extremely powerful, but it can be very bricky also. So that's why you have to play it at 3, but then you'll see it when you don't want to, pretty much. It shuts down a lot of decks pretty quickly. It shuts down Dragon Link, for example, in some scenarios. And it can shut down a lot of other top meta decks like Elvillage. Onto the next hand trap. Probably the most well-known hand trap in the history of Yu-Gi-Oh! We have Ash. Ash is always going to be good. It never isn't a good hand trap. It's good against every deck other than maybe 2. Because every deck searches and adds from their deck. Otherwise, their deck's just not very good. That's pretty much it. So that's why Ash will always be a staple hand trap. Now, we'll get on to probably the least recognized hand trap ever. This thing. It sounds good. I don't know if it is actually good. I've never seen it play, so I'm going to assume it's a piece of garbage. On to the next hand trap. Definitely Imperial Order. This is definitely Imperial Order. I definitely have copies of Imperial Order and didn't not have copies of Imperial Order, pretty much. Yeah, so this is... Wow, I'm stupid. Imperm, I mean. Not Imperial Order. I'm very dumb. So, Imperm. Very powerful. It is a hand trap because if you control no cards, you can send it and negate. It's like Effect Veiler, but a lot better. That's pretty much it. Next, I guess in that category, we have definitely Evenly Matched. Destroys all of your opponent's monster and makes them cry. I picked Mirror Force to represent Evenly Matched because I can't get Evenly Matched, and also I think your opponent cries equally as much when you activate this card as Evenly Matched. Well, on to arguably the 3 best hand traps of the format. We have Droll and Lockbird, Nibiru, and definitely Artifact Lancia. So, Droll is very powerful. It stops a lot of the top meta decks. If you activate Droll on a lot of those decks, sometimes they'll just summon 2 monsters and pass. Like, that's because that's all they can do. The Nibiru can pretty much just rock a board. And then Artifact Lancia stops a lot of the decks in the game. Because a lot of decks need to banish. Now, I'm going to argue that these are the 3 best hand traps of the format. Personally, my favourite hand trap is Droll, because at locals there's a guy who plays Ritual Beast, and if you know how the Ritual Beast works, if you activate Droll on the Ritual Beast player, they will probably die. And then, of course, to finish it off, we've got Kaijus. Kind of a hand trap, kind of not a hand trap, but they're pretty good. I mean, just, what's that? Borrowed Savage Negate? Nah. What's that? Any toxic card in the game? Nah. What's that? It can't be tributed?